Hi everyone, it's Theresa V with your angel message from March 2019. For those of you who don't know me, I am an international speaker, spiritual teacher, healing arts practitioner, and angelic channel. This month is all about nourishment and fun. So you might have noticed the energies have been crazy. The good news is the energies just haven't been crazy in a negative or very taxing way. They've also been crazy in a very positive, very manifesty sort of way. A lot of us have been seeing abundance coming to fruition very, very quickly, including we set an intention or we have an idea and boom, it happens like almost instantaneously, or at least a lot faster than it used to. We're so used to having to struggle through these energetic shifts, having to struggle through things, that we're actually upper limiting ourselves on what we can create and what we can manifest. It's almost like it's easier for us to understand when the energetic shifts are affecting us negatively. But when the energies affect us really positively, it's not as easy for us to process because that hasn't been our experience, or at least that hasn't been our primary experience. So many people have been sharing with me that they're waiting for the other shoe to drop, or they're waiting for the energy to kind of stop, or for their own energetic system to put a kink in the hose of flow and abundance. And that doesn't have to be the case. That's why this month is about nourishment and fun. There are two things that we tend to do, according to our angels, when things are going positively and when we've stepped into flow. The first thing is we go into guilt mode. We compare ourselves to those around us. We compare ourselves to people in the rest of the world, and we start asking the question, who am I to have XYZ? Who am I to have life going this easily when there are so many people out there struggling? And the angels say we are all able to step into that level of flow, that level of abundance, that level of ease. It's just a matter of, can you do it now? What they're saying is by us being there and by us setting that example, other people will learn by seeing us. Other people will learn through osmosis and be able to step more into that themselves, because we'll almost be the evidence that they can use then to say, okay, this works. I've seen other people do it, and now I know that I can do it because I have empirical evidence showing me that it's possible. So the angels warn us about guilt, and they warn us about how that can just pull our frequency completely into a different area so that we step out of flow. And we step out of flow voluntarily, where we're saying, oh, I step out of flow so you can step in. But that's not the truth of the energy we're here to carry. The energy that we're here to carry is, I've stepped into flow, and come on, join me. Let's do this together. The other thing that I mentioned earlier that we do, that the angels caution us against, is upper limiting ourselves. Anything that we can think or perceive is already limited. We are limited by our own inability to see beyond. So we may expect that this is as good as things can get because that's been our experience. That's been what we have witnessed for other people. But the universe is infinite. The universe has limitless capability. So when we are setting our sights on something, when we are setting our goals, what we need to remember is to always say this or something better, because our higher self, in conjunction with the universe, knows actually what's best for us. By saying this or something better, we can actually allow what is better for us to come into our existence and not be limited by what we thought the best thing we could have is. We do go into fear mentality when we've stepped into the flow, and then we start to see the flow ease off a little bit. For example, if you have your own practice and you want more clients and you start seeing more clients and you're like, wow, this was great, this was so easy. All of a sudden you trail off a little bit and you see that you're not seeing as many clients. And we think that we're doing something wrong. We think that we've stepped out of integrity or we've stepped out of flow. But the angels also want us to understand that that might not necessarily be the case. What might be happening is that we now are relating to abundance in a completely different way, and that new way of relating to abundance needs to actually integrate into our systems. Because we're still in physical bodies, a lot of times we need evidence to know that something is possible. So once we've experienced the possibility of that flow, we might need to take a couple of breaths and allow it to integrate so that we can be there for longer and longer periods of time. It's like going to the gym and working muscles. When you start working a muscle group, you may only be able to do 5 exercises. But then as you start developing those muscle groups, you're able to do more and more reps of the same exercise. And before you know it, you can't even remember the time where those muscles would get fatigued very, very quickly. And this is what happens to us as we step into more flow, as we step into the fullness of the experience that we can have here. And this is really beautiful because this has been happening for us in the last month or so, especially. And so it's not just the ascension symptoms that we're having right now, it's also the positive effects that the new paradigm, the new reality is bringing into our lives that we're getting used to. And so we can feel very ungrounded. We can feel like we have no idea which end is up because on one hand, we're still experiencing all the difficult stuff that comes with energetic shifts. And on the other hand, we're experiencing a new level of positivity that comes with energetic shifting. And the angels are saying that understanding this really helps us to move through it. Understanding that if the flow eases off for a little while, it doesn't mean that we've put a kink in the hose. It may just mean we need some time. And that's when the nurturing comes in. That's when taking a break and doing something fun comes in. We tend to want to stay in that energy of making it happen, of doing, of working through something. Oh my gosh, I've kinked my hose. I need to now do some work to get that unkinked. When the easiest way to do it is just to allow ourselves to be nurtured, to allow ourselves to have some fun, to be in the energy of joy, just to do something that we enjoy for the sake of doing what we enjoy. And that's really what March is about for us as we move into a season of detoxing and moving energy that may be stagnant in our system. Joy and nurturing are great ways to support ourselves. So if your body is telling you that there's something that you need to eat, there's a way that you need to move, or you're feeling called to be in a certain environment with certain people, please listen into that. That's your internal guidance system. That's your body telling you what you need next to stay in the energy of flow. In order to really be present to what we're here to create, the limitless possibility of universe, we need to be open. We need to be in flow. We need to be in a state of allowing, in a state that says this or something better, and then stepping into the trust that we might not consciously know what that something better is, but deep down in our spirit, we really do know. The angels want us to know that each and every one of us has our soul's journey, and we're all on that. And even though you may not see what you expect to happen, what you desire to happen on this plane, that everything makes sense in the grand scheme of things. Everything makes sense when you can see things from an omniscient point of view. And when we all leave this body and go to return home, everything will make sense. So what they're saying is let go of the need to have it make sense now, and just know that at the soul level, every single thing is interconnected. Every single thing is part of the one, and every single thing makes absolute sense. This feels really complete from the angels this month. If you feel called to Marie Kondo your entire life from the inside out, please consider joining us for our spring detox and cleanse. It's happening this month. It starts the 30th of this month and it goes through April 12th. We'll be cleansing together as a group, and this is a completely food-based cleanse. Over this 2-week period, we'll be resetting every single system in our body. We'll be moving back into a space of burning our own fat, and we'll be supporting each other through our absolute successes and our moments where we feel that we might not be able to continue. I offer this cleanse once a year, and I hope that you'll consider joining us if your body, your mind, and your spirit are telling you that it's time for a bigger, more in-depth detox experience. If you want to know more, click the link in the comments section or in the description of this video, and it will take you to a page that describes the entire cleanse, and you can sign up for your free 15-minute consultation where you can ask all of your questions and we'll decide together if this is the time for you to do a cleanse. I look forward to seeing you soon. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. Goodbye, everybody.